Hey, and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we are going to learn how to make this awesome bag. It is a beginner project. If you know how to use a sewing machine, then you can make the lining as well. There will be a tutorial on how to make the lining. You can make this bag any size you like. It's very easy to adjust the size. There will be a free written pattern located on my website, so I will put a link for you in the description box below. So let's get started on the lesson. For our supplies, we are going to need some yarn. I am going to be using ice yarn today, and there is a link for that in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so anything you purchase, I get a teeny tiny commission, and that helps out the channel here to keep these tutorials coming out. So this ice yarn is made in Turkey, and it recommends a 4mm or a US size 6 crochet hook. It is 100 grams, 240 meters, and is a number 3 weight yarn. Here in Australia that is an 8-ply, and in England that is a DK yarn. So this is the rainbow. Like I said, I will put a link for you in the description box below. It has absolutely gorgeous colours in this. This is one of my favourite yarns that Ice does. And I'm going to be using a centre pull today, so we will do that in a minute. So for the crochet hook, it recommends a 4mm crochet hook, but I have loose tension, so I'm dropping down to a 3.5. But if you generally use what a yarn recommends, you can use that. So this will work with any yarn. This is pretty much any yarn. This is a DK, a 8-ply or a number 3 weight yarn in America. But you can also use a worsted weight, which is a 10-ply here in Australia, or about an Aran weight in the UK. You would just adjust your crochet hook size. I would recommend going down a hook size. You don't want tight tension, but you just want it to be firm. You don't want it to be all loosey-goosey. So I would recommend going down some hook sizes. We need a measuring tape, a yarn needle with a large eye, and some stitch markers. So let's get into it. With our yarn, I'm going to be using a centre pull. Because it's on camera, it's probably going to just spew its guts out everywhere. Yep, this is not working. Ugh. Some yarns pull from the centre very easily, others do not. You'll get to know that as you become what? As you crochet more. I don't know where I was going with as you become, but you can see here, so I can just flip that over, and the purple is on the inside. So I know if I grab some purple, that should give me an end. Yes, gave me an end. Where is it gone? Seriously, guys, struggle is real. Where is it? There we go. So grabbing your crochet hook, we are going to make a slip knot, and you can make that any way you like. I saw a way, I think it was Chantel from Fiberific, I saw how she does a slip knot, and I need her to show me that in slower speed because it looked really easy. To start our granny square, we're going to make a slip knot, and you can make that any way you like. You're going to chain 4. If you normally chain 5 for the beginning of a granny square, you can do that. It's totally up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go make a slip stitch into the very first stitch. Going to chain up 3, or you can use an alternative double crochet if you like. And then into the ring. I can get that. There we go. Into the ring, we're going to work 3 double crochets. You will need to know how to do a double crochet for this video tutorial. So that's 3 double crochets all into the middle. They should have a total of 4 stitches. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work 4 double crochet into the middle of the ring. So I don't know if you've caught my Facebook lives, but this is the 3rd time filming this granny square. Why? Because I just couldn't get it right, and I didn't have enough stitches, and I had too many, and blah blah blah. Anyway, you'd think it'd be easy. So chain 2, and then 4 double crochet into the middle of the ring. and I am crocheting over my tails so I don't have to sew in as much when I get to the end of my project. So that's 4, chain 2, and then 4 more double crochet into the middle. So altogether we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 4 stitches, and each separated by a chain 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, so chain 2 and join. For this project we are going to slip stitch across. If you're using the same yarn, you're going to slip stitch across to the chain 2 space. If you're changing colour each round or occasionally, then you can join your yarn into that chain 2 space. Just need to grab some yarn. Whoa, it's rolling everywhere. See, look, had to frog it. It's all wrapped up. But the show must go on. So we're slip stitching all the way across to our chain 2 space. And we are going to chain 3, or an alternative double crochet. You can use that throughout the pattern. I won't remind you again, but I'm just using a chain 3, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into that chain 2 space. So we've got 2 stitches. We're going to chain 2. Again, into this chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 double crochet. Into each stitch across, so our first row here is 4 stitches. We're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch. And the very first stitch, which is just here, we want to be careful and just make sure we crochet into that stitch, because sometimes this crochet in the corner can sort of crochet over the top and you don't see it. So after you've finished your corner, just give a slight little tug and you'll see just there is where you need to crochet into, because that is the top of the stitch. If you've got thicker yarn, so I'm using 8-ply number 3 weight yarn or a DK yarn, it's going to be a bigger hole than what I've got, but I know that's the top of the very first double crochet, so I'm going to go into there. Double crochet across until we get to the chain 2 space. For our corners, we are going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet, all in that same chain 2 corner space. And that is the corner for our project. So we've got 4 corners. Obviously the first one starts with a chain 3, but it's the same. You've got 2 stitches, chain 2, 2 stitches. So if you remember that for your corner, then you'll be right. So into that very first double crochet just there, we are going to work a stitch, and in each stitch across. Into the chain 2 corner space, we are going to work our corner. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. You can see that's our corner. Again, in each stitch across, we are going to work a double crochet, and this is pretty much what we do until we have the base of the bag the size that we need. So I'm going to make the base of my bag about 8 inches. That's going to give me a smaller bag, but I'm just going to make a smaller bag for the tutorial so I can save a little bit of time, even though this is the 3rd time I've worked my granny square. So in the end, I probably haven't saved any time whatsoever. So chain 2 and then 2 double crochets. So we've just completed our corner. I'm sorry, I just probably automatically crocheted in there, but it was 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in the chain 2 space. Again, we've got one more side to go, 1 double crochet in each stitch across. This might be a little bit more tricky because we are double crocheting into the slip stitches that we worked on the previous round, but you can do it. So that's 1, 2. Hang on, what have I done? 1, 2. Oh, 2. There we go. Sorry, I could not see where on earth I was supposed to put my stitches. You think I'd know after 21 years of crocheting. I haven't crocheted a solid granny square for quite a while though. I'm going to join to that very first stitch. And then we are going... Oh, why do I have 2 pieces of yarn there? Dear me. There we go. So into the next stitch we're going to work a slip stitch. And then into the chain 2 corner space we're going to work a slip stitch. And that just brings us across to the correct starting point. If you are going to change colour at any stage, you do change colour and join into that chain 2 space, but I am not changing colour in this one, so I'm going to start again. So we're going to repeat the last round that we did. We're going to make a chain 3 and we are going to work 1 double crochet into that chain 2 corner space, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in the same chain 2 corner space. Double crochet in each stitch across. What have I got? 2, 4, 6 and 8. So we're going to go into that very first stitch there. Once you know where that very first stitch is, it becomes very easy to see it. But do pay attention, because if you don't, your sides are going to have different amount of stitches, which can cause your bag to look really funny, especially over the amount of rounds that we do for the base. You can lose quite a few stitches, so you'll have one side that's way smaller than the other. So it's not hard, you could even put a stitch marker there if you really wanted to. And your stitch marker you would go into here, make 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then in this double crochet we're doing now, you would put a stitch marker at the top there. So it's the first double crochet of the second lot that you put in, and that will remind you on the next round to double crochet into it. I've been crocheting for quite a long time, about 21 years, so I'm going to say I don't need it. I've totally just jinxed myself. So work this way around. That's not the right way. That's not the right words. Work yourself around until we get back to the beginning, doing 1 double crochet in each stitch on our sides, and in our chain 2 corner space it's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Pause the video and I'll see you when we are ready for the next round. When we get to the end of the round, we are going to join into the top of our very first stitch. For me it is a chain 3, so I'm just putting my crochet hook through that 3rd chain, and we have the start of our square. Awesome! So a good idea now would be to just double check to make sure you've got all your stitches the same on each sides of the square, and then you'll know you've got that very first stitch crocheted into. So for the remainder of the base of the bag, what we want to do is repeat that last round, and I am going to crochet until that's how much bigger I need to make my square. So pause the video and I'll meet you when we have our base of our bag finished. You can make the base of your bag any size that you like. Pause the video and I'll see you there. I have finished my granny square and it is just over 9, was it 9? No, it is 9 inches across, but that's okay. Mine is 9 inches or 23-ish centimeters, but you can use whatever size base that you like. Now we're going to get our stitch markers. I've already done 2, so I was just testing out my theory. So I've already done 2, but you're just going to repeat this on every side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the corner, then go to the next corner, and we are going to count evenly across until we get to the middle. And you're going to count evenly your stitches. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on until you get to the middle. And we're going to leave the middle 4 stitches, we're going to leave those vacant. So what we're going to do is we're going to count across, and this is what I have done here. And I have 4 stitches in the middle. So what we can do is grab one of our stitch markers, and the 4 stitches that are in the middle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put our stitch marker around the middle 2 that's there. So you can see I've got that through 2 stitches. And then the 2 either side, that is the 4 that we're going to skip on the next round. It will totally make sense when we get to the next round. Okay, so we're going to go to our next one. Again, next side, we're going to go to our corner, go to each corner, count evenly across. I just put these stitch markers in before so I knew where they were going to go. And then the 2 middle stitches, so we are going to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just around those middle 2 there. I'm just going to put my stitch marker in. I just put my stitch markers there so it would be quicker for me to do on the tutorial. So again, we're going to do that on all 4 sides. I've got 2 more sides to go. So you'll only need 4 stitch markers for this process. So do that, pause the video, and I'll see you when we are ready for the next step. We now have 4 stitch markers marking the 2 center stitches in each row. My yarn is still attached, and even though we've only marked 2 in the middle, we are going to be skipping 4 stitches at each point when we get to the stitch marker. To start the next round, we are going to again slip stitch across because we normally do that, and then we're going to slip stitch into our chain 2 space, and we're just going to start our row like we do, just regular, doing our corner, and then 1 double crochet all the way across, and stop 2 stitches before the stitch marker. So you want to leave this one vacant, so that's our marked stitch here. Leave this one vacant and stop just there with your crochet, and I'll meet you there. So pause the video and I'll meet you there. I have stopped 1 stitch before the mark stitch. You'll see that one there's just vacant. So what we are going to do is we are going to skip across 4 stitches. So our stitch marker marks 2 stitches, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. Into the next stitch we are going to work a double crochet. We want to keep our yarn tight because we don't want this stitch to come loose. You don't want that there to turn into a big hole. So we're going to go into the next stitch, each stitch across until we get to our next corner, and continue around until we get to the next stitch marker. So I will meet you at the stitch marker. Pause the video and I'll see you there. I'm I'm up to my next stitch marker and I've stopped one stitch before the stitch marker. We are going to skip this stitch, skip the two that are marked, and then skip the next one. In the next one we're going to work a double crochet. Then we're going to work one double crochet all the way around to our next stitch marker, and then we're going to repeat what we've just done previously, and we're going to repeat this all the way around this round. Pause the video and I'll see you when we're ready for our next round. I've just completed my rounds and I am slip stitched across to the corner space, and I'm just going to complete my corner. And I want you to crochet across. I'll just pop this second stitch in so I don't forget to do it. I want you to crochet across until we have 4 stitches where our stitch marker is down here. I want you to crochet across until you have those 4 stitches, so stop in this stitch here. So pause the video and I'll meet you there. So I have 4 stitches. I have these 2 on this side and then those 2 on that side, and I'm going to skip those stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I am going to double crochet into the next stitch. And then I'm going to continue on and I'm going to work around my corner, and then we're going to do the same on the next bit where our stitch marker is, but I'll stop and show you just so you can have a refresher. So pause the video and I'll see you there. I am round to the other side and I am going to be skipping the 2 stitches here, then you've got a hole, and then you've got 2 stitches. So we're going to be skipping all of those, so 4 stitches all together. I'm going to double crochet and go into the next stitch and work a double crochet. And I just realised that at the moment my yarn matches my crochet hook. Almost. So you're going to end up with this space, and this is the decreasing, and this is going to make the sides of the granny square start to come up and start to make the sides of our bag. So we want to continue around working our corners and then working our decreases where our stitch markers are. You can move your stitch markers up if you like, that's completely up to you. I just think that when I get to here this space is going to remind me, but if you're a beginner you may want to move a stitch marker up so you don't forget, or if you're watching TV that's another reason to move your stitch marker up so you're paying attention and you'll feel it as you come along. So basically the rest of the sides of our bag are the repeat of the round that we've just completed. Skipping those 4 stitches where the stitch markers are and putting your corners in and double crocheting on the side. So a very easy pattern. So pause the video and I'll meet you when we are ready to add some handles. The height of the bag is up to you. I'm not sure what mine's going to be, but I will show you when I have crocheted it. Pause the video and I'll see you in the next section. I have the body of my bag finished and I'm just going to measure it in case you are wondering. It is approximately 6 inches. Approximately 6 inches, which is what, 15 centimeters in height. This is going to stretch because it's crochet and crochet stretches, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rounds in total of the body of my bag. And now we are ready for the handles. So you would have finished off on a point. So if we just lay this down, let me just fold it properly. You've got a point over here and then a point over there and then sort of like a valley. So imagine these are the tops of the mountains and that's the valley. So on the top of the mountains, this is where our handles are going to go, and you would have finished off on the top of a mountain. So what we're going to do is we have slip stitched into the chain 2 space there, and we want to slip stitch across until we're into this very first double crochet there. So put another slip stitch in there if you need to, just to get yourself across, and then slip stitch into that very first double crochet. We want to do a single crochet into there. So go into our work, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Grab our stitch marker. Second time filming this, that's why the stitch marker was randomly placed over there. And then we're going to single crochet until we get to the next point of our bag. So we're going to single crochet down the side. We're going to single crochet around to the next point. So single crochet until we get to the valley, which is, if you hold your bag like that, you've got the points, they're up high, and then the valley's down low. So single crochet across until we get to the valley, or the bit there that's got the holes in where we've skipped our stitches. Pause video and I'll see you there. So I've single crocheted down to the valley. You could work a single crochet decrease there, but to keep it simple, we're just going to single crochet across. It's really not going to matter, but if you want to, you can work a single crochet decrease. Anybody with hair, does it get into your crochet? Oh gosh, this one's completely worked into there. Lucky this is for me. Is this good luck? I can't even get it out, it's that worked in there. Yuck. I just saw it as I was crocheting. So we're single crocheting until we get to the top of our work, which is the peak of the top of the mountain. So we're going to crochet across to there. Pause the video and I'll see you there. I'm at the top of my bag just here, and we are going to single crochet into there. And now we're going to start our handles. You can use a chain stitch and then you would come around again on another row and crochet into that chain. But if you're making this bag to put things in that are sort of heavy, beach towels can get heavy. I'm trying to think of something light. I don't know, packets of chips or crisps. If you're going to put that in, it's really not going to matter. You can use the chain method, but if you're going to use it for groceries or taking to the beach or putting your crochet in there, this method I'm about to show you works much better because it doesn't dig into your shoulder. We're going to be using the single crochet foundation stitch, and there will be a link pop up here if you need more practice on that stitch. But I am going to show you how to do it here, but if you do need more in depth, then that is a great video. So first of all, we want to make a chain 2, and into the first chain we are going to put our crochet hook, go through 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop. And what we would normally do for a single crochet is grab hold of your yarn and pull it through the 2 loops, but for this foundation single crochet, what we do is we make our chain first. So we yarn over and we pull through just one loop, and just here, that is our chain that we've already made. So I like to just pinch that so I know on the next stitch I know where I'm going. So yarn over and pull through both loops. Go into the chain, go through 2 loops. 2 loops just gives you a nicer finish. So yarn over, pull through, and we've got 2 loops, yarn over, and we want to work our chain first, so we're going to pull through 1 stitch. See our chain just there. Yarn over and pull through 2 stitches. Go into the chain that you just made, and in the other video that gives you more detail, it lets you learn where that chain is. I know where it is because I know what I'm looking at, but if you're unsure, that other video has got great detail to learn that. So yarn over and pull through, and that makes our chain. I like to just pinch that chain and then yarn over and pull through both loops. So once I unpinch, you can see the chain just above my thumbnail there. So in there, through 2 loops, and I'm holding this loop on because I don't want to pull the crochet hook through it, and that's why I hold it. So I'll pull through that first loop, yarn over, we're going to make a chain, and then yarn over and pull through all loops. I'll show you one more time. Into the chain, through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, make your chain, I move my thumb up and I pinch it, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You're going to make your little single crochet foundation as long as you need it. How many stitches is that? I don't know. I have not made the bag handle yet, but I will tell you when I'm finished. Do you want yours shorter? Do you want yours longer? It's completely up to you. So whatever you do, however many stitches you do here, and you're going to count them normally so you can see at the top you've got your V's, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's easy to count them. Once you've done this one, write that number down because you're going to need to repeat it for the other side. So pause the video and I'll see you in just a second when I've finished my amount of stitches that I need. I have finished my handle and I have 75 stitches altogether with the foundation single crochet. And we are going to skip the valley and go over to the peak of our bag. So basically it's the other side where we want our handles attached, and then we are going to go into that chain 2 space and we are going to work a single crochet into each stitch until we get down to the valley. We're going to single crochet and then we're going to single crochet up the other side to the other peak, which is the point over here. So we're going to go crochet around, past a bit with the holes, and then over to the other side we have our chain 2 space. So pause video and I'll meet you when we are over on this side. I'm over to the chain 2 space and we are going to single crochet into there. And then we are going to start our foundation single crochet again by chaining 2 and then working into that first chain and continuing on with our foundation single crochet, and do this same amount that you had to do for the other handle. Mine was 75 stitches. So continue on making your handle the same length as the other one, and I will meet up with you when we're ready to join the handle to the next side. Pause the video and I'll see you there. I have finished my second handle and we have attached it over here, and then we're going to skip over all these stitches and go over to the other side, which is the top of our peak or the chain 2 space. So we're going to make sure that it is not twisted, and then we are going to single crochet into the chain 2 space. So into the chain 2 space we go. One of my lights is not on, I can tell. That's better. Too much shadows on my hands. We're going to single crochet into our chain 2 space, join to the very first single crochet, which is there. You've probably got a stitch marker in yours. I took it out off camera because I thought, I don't even know why that's there. Let's get rid of it. So now we are going to chain 1 and single crochet in the same space. Same stitch. Let's grab that stitch marker, put it back. I don't know if this is the correct colour. I have a bunch of stitch markers. Do you have a bunch of stitch markers? I know I do. Collected them over the years. And we're going to single crochet in each stitch until we get to the next handle, and I'll show you what to do. Pause video and I'll see you there. When we get to the first start again. When we get to the first stitch on our handle, you can see it's joined down there and then it continues on up there. We're just going to continue single crocheting because we have a stitch there. Oops. Make sure you get 2 loops. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Jeez, Claire, have you ever made a tutorial before? Like, really? So I'm keeping it in screen. We're going to make sure we get 2 loops. My one's fallen to the back as yours. And then we're just going to single crochet in there. And then we're going to single crochet in every stitch around. We are going to continue to single crochet all the way around our handle. and then single crochet. So we'll come down and then we'll single crochet around here, and we're just going to keep going all the way around until we get back to our stitch marker. So pause the video and I'll see you there.